What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up? Hello.
Hello.
What's up, people? I think this is going to be the new theme song to the show. What show? What the hell am I talking about? So, big things happened last night. So we packed up the Hit the Bid Studios from Bear Capital and we said farewell. I don't really care what they do at this point. They stay in business, they go out of business. I don't know where I'm going, okay? Now, here's the thing about where I go next. This is going to be like a proving ground for people because you know me. I'm very particular about what I like and what I don't like. So now looks like we're probably gonna head over to T3 and we'll see what they can do. They said they're gonna let me get onto their airwaves and use their studio and all that stuff. But you know how a lot of people, they say one thing and then when you get there, the grass isn't greener, the reality isn't exactly what you thought it would be. So Monday we're gonna go in again and we're gonna, try to hammer out where I'm actually gonna be sitting, what I'm going to be doing, and most importantly, like I said, if you want to be in this industry, T3 is probably the place that you want to go. They have training, they have people there to hold your hand, get you through all the questions that you might have, and if you're living in New York, it's a great atmosphere to be. The atmosphere that you want to be in as a trader is not sitting in a little hovel trying to figure out things by yourself, but being able to throw ideas back and forth to each other and have a community, and that's what Hit the Bid is all about. That's what I've tried to do. And obviously you've noticed I haven't been around too much in the website and haven't been able to answer some of the questions, and somebody was wondering where the education part of Hit the Bid is. Hit the Bid is more or less my way of getting across the tragedy that is my trading career, and I let you guys in on what I'm selling out of, and I let you in on some of my hidden gems, the hidden gems. And a lot of times I don't talk about what I'm doing on these videos, but if you hear the song in the background, the name of the song is I Told You So. Here we go. Told you so, told you so, told you so. So after the Red F miss, now let's talk about Red F. Red F is a great microcosm of what the stock market represents. Because right now, I could find 5 people that think Red F is going to be, this is the move that they've been waiting for. This is the move that is going to ignite the stock again, right? Wow, it's amazing when I just try to do this on the fly and I can't get things to work. Stock's gone from basically 250 where I liked it, because I like any stock that gets over 250 becomes attractive to a whole new crop of momentum players, traders, investors. It's just a big number. So when it got past 250, I said, hey, look, this thing might go to $3 or $4 now with some momentum. And of course, it went to $6, which was ridiculous. Now, like I was saying, there's 5 people that'll tell you that this is just a bullshit move for a bullshit company which has no prospects, sitting in red, going nowhere. It's not the next Google, it's not the next Baidu, because it's not the same kind of company and they don't know what they're doing. And then I could find you 5 other people that'll break down Red F and tell you about how this is the opportunity of a lifetime in a country with 50 trillion people that's going to take over the world, and that Red F's going to be the $30 or $40 stock within a couple of years. That's why I love the stock market. And that's why I'm talking about, what did I say about 2 weeks ago? I said after a rally that takes every one of your stocks, because if you noticed, there's nothing that's going up more than the same stocks. You had Baidu, which, as we called it, was the Baidu indicator. Ever since this rally began, ever since the bottom, which of course we called it hitthebid.com, because we've been looking at some old videos. I wanted to try to impress the T3 guys, so I'm trying to go back to some of the calls. Remember the savior of companies? And I was telling you how I bought some of those stocks of the 2018 fund, and then a few days later I sold out of them. I told you to buy GE at around 6, Harvard Financial around 4 or 5, GTI, remember that one at $5? But of course, the Joy Global is the one that really hurts my feelings, because Joy Global was a company that's been around for, I don't know, 100 years? Was it 200 years they've been around? Building equipment, mining equipment. And I said, if there's one company that's not going to go out of business, that'll make it through this depression, recession, it'll be Joy Global. So feel free to buy it here at 17, 18 bucks. The stock's $70. Okay, that's 2 years ago already at this point. But getting to the point where I was trying to make with the Red F, I said, after you have a rally that everything goes up, and of course it's Baidu, Google, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, and LVS, there's a handful of 10 stocks that have basically carried the whole market on its back. More or less it's Baidu, and I called it the Baidu indicator. Forget your S&P charts, forget your ticks, forget your futures indicators or your scanners. Whatever Baidu's doing, the market's doing. And if you could watch, there's 100 videos, and I just said, just sit back, buy Baidu, and watch it go to 100. And when it was at when it broke 420, I said 500. And then when it hit 500, I said, now that it's at 500, it'll probably go to 750. And then it went to 750. I said, once it goes to 750, it's only logical that it's going to go to 1,000. And the smartest thing Baidu guys did was split that stock 10 for 1, which basically put a floor on the stock, because now it's not going to go down to $50. It's not going to get cut in half. So I said, when did they do the split? And then we had the flash crash got in the way, and we had a little bit of a sell-off on Baidu, but that was it. It's a fart in the wind. Boom, off to 100. But let me tell you about the stock that we talked about a week ago. And maybe you're catching on to my train of thought right now, is that I said in this market, every dog shit stock is going to have its day. That's what happens in a real bull move. And then usually that signifies where you might want to start taking profits. When the shit of the shit of the shit start moving up. And what did I say? After Red F, what was the next one? Limelight Networks, LLNW. Little Akamai's illegitimate redheaded stepchild cousin, Limelight Networks. The stock that was supposed to eat Akamai's lunch. The stock that was supposed to take over Akamai's business. And of course, you know how much of a proponent I am of Akamai. Still in the stock. Still in my dad will still own that stock forever. That's what is good about my father. I'll give him a recommendation. He'll hang on to it. He still owned his same 300 shares of CRXL from 7 years ago. We had a biotech analyst that was talking about this company and saying how they'll probably get bought out eventually. 7 years later, the company did get bought out, and my dad still owned it. Fascinating. So Akamai, we've been in that stock basically since its IPO of $180 a share, $3.80 down to 80 cents. Do you realize Akamai went from $180 a share to $380 down to 80 cents? And then I was buying that stock at $3, selling it at $5, and then buying a whole ton of it at $7.50. Limelight Networks all along the... And Akamai's another funny thing. That company's been getting beat up by every analyst in the world. Every company that came out, you had Savvis, you had Internap. Anytime somebody came out, oh, this is the one that's going to kill Akamai. This is the one that's going to kill Akamai. Oh, AT&T is getting into that business. Verizon's getting into that business. Google's getting into that business. Everybody was getting into that business. But I said, don't worry about it. Akamai is one of the leaders. They're going to remain the leader. Don't worry about that stock. And we made a ton of money on that stock when it broke back into the teens, into the 20s, and it went to 50, and then it went all the way back down to 14. It was fantastic. But now Limelight Networks. So it's in the chat room, right? And that's where you have to pay attention. I throw the gems out there. Sometimes they're very subtle. So I said, hey, listen, in this market, anything can happen. Limelight Networks, the thing breaks 5, you're probably just going to go to 750. Don't tell me about how the company's improving and how they're going to compete with Akamai and how they've got this and how they got that. Right now, it's a momentum market and people are just looking for stuff to run. Limelight Networks was next, and it was still under $5. It hadn't broke 5 yet. I think that was, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. And then we tested the 5, right? And then we broke it, pulled back for a second, and now we're off to the races. Now, is this because the company improved? Is this because the company announced something great? all I know is that Kramer said something about Limelight Networks now. So, in my opinion, if Kramer said something and now the stock had already had a nice move, you're going to have to sell into this and take profits on it. So, good luck with you. 10 minutes, it goes by really quickly. So anyway, I'll be back later, tell you about next plans for Hit the Bid and us and what we're going to do and how we're going to take over 2011. The next decade is going to be ours. All right. Limelight Networks, 618. Oh, did I tell you? I own some.